An old forester delivered a strange girl in the woods. He was shocked to see what she had given birth to. Mr. Davis carried his love for the forest and the taiga nature throughout his life. Since the very first day when his father took him to the taiga, showing him its greatness and power. At that time, everything seemed so fabulous and beautiful to the little boy that everything he saw took his breath away. Even after several years, the feeling had not disappeared. He knew almost everything about the forest. He knew where and what kind of wood grows and how to breed it. Mr. Davis had order in everything, in the house and on the land. He lived with his granddaughter on the outskirts of the village in a small house with windows overlooking the edge of the forest. Gloria was an orphan. Her grandfather was the only family she had. Her parents were geologists and had been killed in a mountain slide while setting up camp in a ravine. A huge avalanche of snow and ice buried them under it. Mr. Davis, when it happened, did not know how to calm his heartache, unable to find room for grief. Gloria was 5 years old at the time, and she was visiting her grandparents on vacation. The news of the death of her son and daughter-in-law undermined the health of Mr. Davis's wife, who even before the incident had not been distinguished by excellent health. After the tragedy, she lived another 3 years and died from complications caused by heart disease. So it turned out that Mr. Davis brought up his granddaughter alone. Even though he was old, he did not give up, but made every effort to provide his granddaughter with everything she needed. Now it is easier for the old man. His granddaughter has grown up and can take care of herself. Gloria had her own amateur group at school, in which she put on various plays to the delight of all the village children. Mr. Davis worked as a forester in the forestry administration and often had to visit the district center. From such trips, he always brought a small present to his granddaughter, a down scarf or an unusual brooch, and sometimes just a muffin. "Grandpa, are you going to the district today?" Gloria asked, looking Mr. Davis in the eyes. "I will, my dear. The report must be submitted to the department. After these fires, the authorities need data on the damage. They want to assess the scale of the fire," said Mr. Davis with a sad sigh. "I have a favor to ask of you, Grandpa. Please bring me some colored pencils, mascara, and glitter. We'll prepare a number for the holiday, dedicated to the first day of summer," said Gloria, looking at the old man pleadingly. "All right, darling. How can I refuse you? Such a beautiful and clever girl," the old man replied with a smile. Before leaving for town, Mr. Davis stopped by his neighbor Miss Miller, a local healer. They had known each other for a long time, being old residents of the village. They helped each other in a neighborly way as much as they could, and they held on to each other, understanding how hard it was for the old people. "Miss Miller, I'm going to town. Can I bring you anything?" Mr. Davis asked. "Yes, I seem to have enough of everything." "Actually, could you bring me some yarn?" asked Miss Miller. "I will by all means bring it," the forester answered readily. He quickly solved his business at the forestry department. After reviewing the report, the inspector asked for data from the remote cordon where Mr. Davis did not visit for a long time due to lack of free time. Having promised to fill the gap in the report, the forester went home, having previously bought everything from the list of ordered items. His granddaughter and Miss Miller were very happy with the gifts, thanking the old man profusely. And the next day, he went early in the morning to the far cordon. He took an axe with him, and, as was his habit, he made notches on trees, marking the path for travelers and hunters. The trail meandered between huge pines and sprawling firs. The remote cordon was notorious for its wilderness and swampy terrain, where one could easily come across a wild boar or a lynx. The forester was a good judge of footprints, automatically noting this or that print left by a wild animal. Suddenly, on the damp moss-covered soil, he saw a human footprint. The footprint was small, as if it belonged to a child. But, looking closer, Mr. Davis came to the conclusion that a woman's foot had left it. Who could it be in such a wilderness? The forester thought anxiously. Mr. Davis decided to follow the strange trail and find out who it belonged to. After walking 10 meters along it, he heard crying somewhere in the vicinity. Cautiously bypassing the dangerous mire, the forester moved on and behind the nearest willow tree saw a girl standing waist deep in the black mud. The unfortunate girl had grabbed a branch, thus trying not to fall into the mire. Tears were streaming from her eyes, and she smeared them over her muddy face. "How did you get there, sweetheart? Oh, don't you move. I'll think of something," said the forester, knowing that in the swamp the main thing is to stand still and not to wander. Because the more you try to get out, the more you get sucked in. Mr. Davis bent a young alder tree so that the girl could grasp its branches. She deftly grasped them, and the forester at the same time pulled the tree toward him. Slowly, centimeter by centimeter, the old man managed to pull the weeping stranger out of the mire. Panting on the saving hard surface, the forester was surprised to see that the girl was pregnant. "My dear, where are you from? Why did you crawl into the swamp?" "Don't be afraid of me," cautiously voiced Mr. Davis. "I'm Aunt Harris. You probably don't remember me, Mr. Davis. I'm from the next village. Your Gloria and I were classmates. I went to town to study 3 years ago, and now," the girl sobbed, clutching her stomach. "What a mess! Why did you come to the swamp?" the forester asked as cautiously as possible. "My father saw that I was pregnant and chased me out of the house. I wanted to drown myself. Who needs me now?" Anne cried out through her tears. "Honey, don't get excited, please. I'll help your grief. Don't doubt it. I'll also not leave you in trouble. I've got a winter hut at the camp. You'll live there for the time being, and then we'll see. You have nothing to wonder about the swamps," Mr. Davis reassured the girl. Taking Anne by the hand, he escorted her to the hut. "How far along are you?" the forester asked, looking at the large belly of the girl. "I'm very far along. I'm due to give birth any day now, I'm afraid," Anne answered fearfully. "Well, I'll talk to Miss Miller. You won't find a better midwife around here," said Mr. Davis confidently. Leaving Anne some food from his supplies, the forester went home. The first thing he did was to visit Miss Miller. Miss Miller was sympathetic to the old man's request. "Well, if that's the case, let's help the poor girl. She'll give birth, and then I'll talk to her father. I'll have to visit her tomorrow." "Thank you, Miss Miller. God bless you." Mr. Davis thanked his neighbor heartily. When she came to see Anne the next day, she found her in tears. The girl was going into labor, and she was afraid she was going to have to give birth alone. "Well, Mr. Davis, heat some water and bring some clean towels," Miss Miller ordered, deftly putting Anne on the bed. The forester did everything and went out the door. After a couple of hours, the door of the hut opened, and an excited Miss Miller appeared on the threshold, wiping sweat from her forehead. "Well, Mr. Davis, I had many women in labor, but it was the first time I was met with such a woman. She gave birth to a girl. Thank God." "What happened, Miss Miller?" the old man asked in surprise. "Go and see for yourself," Miss Miller answered. When the forester entered the house, he was dumbfounded. Wrapped in swaddling clothes, a dark-skinned girl was lying beside Anne. Her skin was not too dark. It was more like swarthy. "How wondrous are your Lord's deeds!" Mr. Davis took his head. The girl was born healthy, with a good appetite. Anne named the baby Monica. Watching her take care of the baby, The Forrester and Miss Miller felt a rush of affection for the girl and the baby. All was well. 3 days passed. Mr. Davis and Miss Miller visited the woman in labor every morning, bringing food and warm clothes. And on the 4th day, they saw that the bed was empty and Anne was gone, and only baby Monica was lying on the bed, crying. "Where had she gone? You good-for-nothing mother! Abandoning her daughter?" the Forrester asked anxiously. Having searched all possible places, Miss Miller and Mr. Davis found Anne at her parents'. The girl's father, Albert Harris, opened the gate for them. "I respect you, Mr. Davis, of course, for helping your daughter. But I won't take the baby, and if you force her on us, I'll give her to an orphanage. They will laugh in the village," the hunter answered resolutely and went away into the house, slamming the door loudly. "What are you doing, Albert? She is your granddaughter, after all." "Go away, Mr. Davis. By God, I cannot see her any more," the hunter grumbled angrily through the door. The Forrester returned home with the girl in his arms. Gloria had heard what had happened. "Granddaughter, what shall we do?" "I do not have the hand to give Monica in the orphanage," the old man said mournfully. "Grandpa, why don't we adopt the little girl? Anne is no stranger to me, a friend after all. I understand her, afraid of her father. And now this girl must suffer because of it?" Gloria suggested. Mr. Davis gladly agreed. He was inwardly ready for this. He just lacked a push, and his granddaughter pushed him to make an important decision. So Monica began to live in the Forrester's family. Gloria was very fond of the girl and took her as her own. The color of her skin made no difference to her. They fed the baby with milk formula and semolina porridge. Monica was a sweet and obedient baby. As the girl grew older, she became like a little princess. Gloria paid a lot of attention to the girl, working with her in her school theater. But not everyone in the village accepted the mulatto girl with warmth and love. And while the little girl was still young and spent most of her time at home, it did not go beyond gossip. But when Monica went to school, that's when the main problems in her life began. "Mom, no one wants to sit at the same desk with me at school. They say I'm dirty and need to be washed," crying she complained to her foster mother. "And they also say that I'm good for stealing the neighbor's apples. I can't be seen at night," sobbing the daughter continued. "Don't listen to them, daughter. Their mouths are dirty. It would do them no harm to wash their own tongues with soap and water," replied Gloria, knowing that children simply retell the overheard conversations of their parents, absorbing negative information like a sponge. But the older Monica grew, the situation only worsened. In the village, people began to look at Gloria and Mr. Davis askew, as if reproaching them for something. Often black puppies or kittens were thrown into the Forrester's yard to emphasize their status as lovers of dark colors. And once, they even poured tar over the gate. Village gossip girls whispered behind Gloria's back, exchanging meaningful glances. "Look, here she comes. She took in a foundling, and she's glad. Normal people rejected her, and these people pick her up." Monica had a very hard time in her school years. Sometimes when she came home from school, she would lock herself in her room and sob silently. One day, Gloria put on a school drama club play, where Monica was assigned one of the main roles. Just before the premiere of the play, the director of the club called Gloria. "Gloria, why do you have one of the main roles being played by this girl? What do you mean? Are we on the African continent or what? Tomorrow there will be all sorts of rumors. There will be an article in the paper, and your Monica will be on the front page. They'll make fun of us." "I put Monica in the theater group not because she is my daughter, but because she has very good vocal skills, you know," agitatedly replied Gloria. Yes, let her be an opera singer. I do not care. But I will not tolerate her in the play, the director said firmly, making it clear that the conversation was over. So Gloria had to take Monica out of the play. Mr. Davis was very indignant about it, but he couldn't change it. Monica's own mother, Anne, never visited her daughter during the whole time, having cut her out of her life. Anne often thought about life in the big city and studying at a prestigious university. She never told her family about her relationship with a student from a small African country, although the romance, which spun in the third year, was very stormy. The passionate Southerner showered Anne with flowers and gifts. It seemed like everything was going to go well for the couple. But everything did not go as they'd hoped. They parted quite routinely. One day the guy left for his homeland. The result of the relationship was the birth of a daughter no one in the village wanted to acknowledge. Time passed, and Monica finished school. Despite all the mockery and prejudiced teachers, she got straight A's in all subjects. Every day, practicing her singing, she learned to sing very well. Monica had no doubts about her choice of profession. She wanted the stage and nothing else. "Daughter, why don't you stay? Who knows what the big city has in store for you?" Gloria asked hopefully, who was afraid to let her daughter go alone. "No, Mom, I'm going to take ballet classes. Anyway, they won't let me live here. They'll drive me to hell for my origin, but they don't take it badly in the city," Monica answered with confidence. Mr. Davis and Gloria gave the girl the money they were saving from their pensions and wages. She immediately enrolled at the ballet school and impressed the teachers with her voice and artistry. Apparently, her lessons in the school drama club were not wasted. She became a star in her class at once. No one believed that a girl from the village could sing so well. Monica was happy that none of the students cared about her background. Having graduated from the college, the goal-oriented girl went to work at a culture house, moonlighting as a singer in a restaurant on weekends. One day at one of the celebrations, she was noticed by a producer. He took Monica's phone number and asked the singer for recordings of her songs. The girl gave the records to him, not even hoping they would be useful, and a month later, she got a phone call. "Monica, get ready. They're waiting for you to audition." Of course, the girl went to the audition, abandoning the house of culture and the restaurant. She dreamt of a real stage, and finally her dream came true. The audition was successful, and Monica recorded a trial song, which was sent to the airwaves. The very next day, she woke up famous. Her composition kept on top of the ratings for almost half a year. During this time, the fame of the beauty mulatto reached her native village. "Gloria, look, please! Monica is on TV!" Mr. Davis cried out, squinting blindly at the TV. The foster mother's heart beat joyfully, and she wiped away her tears and said, "Finally, my daughter, you have finally achieved what you wanted. You believed in the dream and got everything you wanted." Gloria and Mr. Davis have been respected in the village ever since, especially when Monica financed the repair of the school and the theater studio for her mom's club. Miss Miller is happy that she helped the pop star to be born. She is proud of her goddaughter and wishes her only success. Now, no one called Monica a stranger. She has become a successful lady and a sought-after singer. But Anne, looking at her daughter's success, biting her elbows, realized that she had lost everything. She never became a happy mother. She was married and divorced 3 times, never getting anywhere with any of her marriages. No children, no family life. That's what happens when one wrong decision changes your whole life.